Automotive.
The Cooperstown Cam is brought to you by Utica National Insurance Group.
A reminder tonight that Dr. Brienne Barker from Camden is on Jeopardy. We're running that episode at 5:30, so just about 10 minutes from now. Why, you ask? Because tonight is the New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss game between the Utica Pioneers and Stonehill Skyhawks, and we're broadcasting that game live right here on WKTV NBC. Let's check in with Sports Director Spencer Davidson. He's live at the Adirondack Bank Center with a preview. Good evening, Spence.
Jason, a very good evening to you. What a night we have in store here tonight on News Channel 2. It's the 19th annual New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss game pitting Utica University against Stonehill College for the Pioneers' marquee game of the season. It's an annual tradition like no other. And when Utica scores its first goal of the game, fans will throw stuffed animals onto the ice to be donated to charity. It's a great night for a great cause, but there's also an important game to be played. New this year, the Pioneers will be hosting a Division I opponent for the first time ever in this game. It'll certainly pose a new challenge, and although the Skyhawks have struggled coming in at 0-14 this season, they've played some top D1 teams to some tight games, which can't be overlooked. Utica, meanwhile, comes in ranked 4th in the nation in Division III at 6-1-3, but come off their first loss of the year here at home to Elmira in their Thanksgiving showcase last Saturday. Despite that one, head coach Gary Heenan is optimistic about where his team is at and confident the boys can bounce back here tonight.
Yeah, I think as a staff, we're actually really thrilled with our record at this point, 6-1-3. I mean, we're coming off our first loss against a very good old Elmira team at 13 seniors. When you look at our roster with 15 freshmen and 2 transfers, I mean, we're a completely new team. So to get the streak, the record we've had right now, we're feeling pretty good about ourselves. Carrying that momentum into, you know, our marquee game tonight, and all we have is Oswego left at third place before the Christmas break. So a couple big games. If we can get a couple wins here, we'll be really pleased, sleeping well, just waiting for Santa to come.
Union College transfer.
While the Pioneers await Santa's arrival, they're doing their part to make sure kids in our area have plenty to cheer about this holiday season. The first goal scored by Utica tonight will see thousands of stuffed animals come raining down onto the ice to be collected by New York Sash and then distributed to children in need through various toy drive partners. Over 50,000 stuffed animals have been collected in the previous 18-year history of this event. Puck drop, meanwhile, in the 19th annual New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss is coming up at 7. At 6, we'll hear from Heenan once again. He'll give us a little scouting report on Stonehill, and we'll get his prediction for who will get the coveted Teddy Bear Toss goal. Big night tonight here on News Channel 2. Until then, Jason, I'll send it back up Smith Hill to you.
All right, Spencer, thanks so much. We'll see you at 6. More news after the break.
Good evening. I am here live at the Adirondack Bank Center in downtown Utica, where tonight the Utica University men's ice hockey team takes on Stonehill College in the 19th annual New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss, a game that'll be broadcast live right here on WKTV NBC at the top of the hour. It's the 5th year that we will have the pleasure of bringing you live coverage of this contest that has become one of the premier traditions in local sports. Fans are making their way into the building now, sporting stuffed animals. When Utica scores its first goal tonight, fans will throw those stuffed animals over the boards and onto the ice to be collected and sorted by the team at New York Sash and distributed to children in need through various toy drive partners this holiday season. Throughout the history of this event, more than 50,000 stuffed animals have been collected and made their way to new homes to provide some holiday cheer. While that is certainly the most important aspect of tonight's event, there is a hockey game to be played, and the stakes are high. Tonight marks the first year that the Pioneers will be hosting an NCAA Division I opponent for the game. For Utica, it's been a great start to the year. At 6-1-3, the Pioneers are currently ranked 4th in the nation in the latest D3 polls and are looking to win their 8th straight Teddy Bear Toss contest. They are 14-2-1 all time in these games. With a new challenge looming tonight, head coach Gary Heenan told us us what he expects to see from this Stonehill team and gives us his prediction for who will get the coveted goal.
Well, this team has struggled at the Division I level in just their second year. They have been right across the country. They played Arizona State. I think they're ranked number 12 in the country in their building to an overtime loss and a one-goal loss. So he's played some really tight games, but they haven't had the puck on their stick. They've done a lot of chasing. So I'm sure in their minds, they're like, let's take this game to them. You know, that we're going to be the better team for the first time in a long time. So I bet you they're coming in here really looking forward to this game as well. You know, I had Mikey Herrera just played up the road. He's from Syracuse, but played for the Junior Comets. He's had a bit of a hot stick lately, and I know New York Sash is pulling for our captain, Brian Scoville. So there's 2 goal picks for you right there.
So there you have it. A couple of different predictions there. If you're looking at Coach Heenan's track record, though, it's really hard to bet against his picks. He's been right a few times, including a couple of years ago picking Eric Holland to do it. I'm going to pick the local kid, though. Oriskany native Shane Murphy, junior forward. What a story that would be. Coming up tonight at 11 after the game, a busy night on Sports Express with highlights of this one, plus we head to Rome for the annual Bobby Cicotti Memorial Tournament, dropping the puck on the boys' ice hockey season with New Hartford taking on Clinton and Whitesboro facing RFA. We'll also look ahead to tomorrow's season opener for Utica City FC and hear from the team ahead of their matchup with the Harrisburg Heat. And we'll hear from the Whitesboro football team, who is one sleep away from playing for the Class A state title at the Dome. Warriors looking to down the defending champs and win the program's first ever state title. Puck drop here for the 19th annual New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss between Utica University and Stonehill College coming up at the top of the hour. Join me, Ray Biggs, and Ben Kinney on the call live right here on WKTV NBC. The building is buzzing. Let's get ready to toss those Teddies. I will see you after game time, and News Channel 2 at 6 will wrap up after the break.
You're watching News Channel 2 at 10 on CW11 with Jason Pallas.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It's a date many Central New Yorkers circle on the calendar, Teddy Bear Toss Night, and it's all for a great cause. Tonight, the Utica University Pioneers faced off with Stonehill College, which, by the way, was on WKTV NBC. Our very own Ben Kinney joins us live in studio with more on this year's game. Ben, good evening.
The first period for the Pioneers to score the goal that unleashed the Teddy Bears onto the ice. Literally thousands of bears flying out of the stands and onto the ice at the Adirondack Bank Center for this year's New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss. Now this was the 19th year for the Teddy Bear Toss. Bears were picked up by players from Utica University as well as Stonehill players as well, and other members of the community. The bags loaded into the imitated rarely those bears will be taken
There's some
to
great
the
Teddy Bear tosses out there in the world today. Calgary does a great one. Hershey, PA doesn't.
Have been collected and donated in the previous 18-year history of this event. Remember, in 2020, there was no game due to the COVID pandemic. However, they did a virtual toy drive, so there was still...
What makes Utica the best? Well, it's right here in Utica, right? And it's all about you. It's all about you, Utica University. Coach Gary Heenan and his whole staff at Utica University, they do a tremendous job. And everything is all about our community, and it's all about giving back. Well, we want to set a new record. We have to set a new record, right? We need more bears, more and more bears. We got to go for 5, maybe 10,000 bears next year.
Collected by the team at
Last year's total was over 4,000 bears. We're having some technical difficulties. We apologize. And just come back. If you didn't get a chance to get to the game,
You're watching News Channel 2 at 11 with Jason Pallas.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It's a date many Central New Yorkers circle on their calendar. See Teddy Bear Toss Night, all for a great cause. Tonight, the Utica University Pioneers faced off with Stonehill College, which was a game you could see and probably saw right here on WKTV NBC. In fact, our own Ben Kinney was in that broadcast. He's here in our broadcast, joining us live in studio with more on this year's game. Ben, good evening.
Hey, Jason, good evening. It took just under half of the first period for the Pioneers to score the goal that unleashed the Teddy Bears. We're talking literally thousands of bears flooding the ice at the Adirondack Bank Center for this year's New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss. The 19th year for the toss, the Bears were picked up by members of the men's hockey team as well as other members of the Utica University community. The Bears were then placed into bags, loaded into a U-Haul truck. Now, from the Aud, the Bears will be taken to the New York Sash showroom in Whitesboro. They'll drive for the weekend, and then early next week they'll be counted. For the 12th straight year, the game was sold out. I spoke with New York Sash owner Scott Hayes about how amazing the Utica community is and what their plans are for year 20 of the toss.
What makes Utica the best? Well, it's right here in Utica, right? And it's all about you. It's all about you, Utica University. Coach Gary Heenan and his whole staff at Utica University, they do a tremendous job. And everything is all about our community, and it's all about giving back. Well,
last year's total was over 4,000 Bears. We'll know the final total Bears early next week, as we mentioned. Now, if you didn't get a chance to make it to the game, no worries. New York Sash will be accepting donations at their showroom on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro. Jason?
All right, Ben, thanks very much.
Ton to get to tonight, but the main event, of course, is one that has become one of the area's premier sports traditions as the Utica University men's ice hockey team hosted the 19th annual New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss.
Yeah, the Pioneers taking on Stonehill College, the first NCAA Division I team they faced in this annual contest. The Skyhawks, though, coming in at 0-14.
To the Adirondack Bank Center for a game you saw live right here on WKTV NBC. Sold out crowd for this one. Early in the first, just over a minute in, and the Pioneers find themselves in unfamiliar territory as Henry Sheffrels, with a shot from the high slot, beats Evan Roberts, and the first goal of the game goes to the Skyhawks. So Utica playing from behind, looking to get the crowd back into it. And there's Eric Vitale redirecting a shot just under 8 minutes in from Kimball Johnson for his first official goal in a Pioneers uniform, and that is a memorable one. Here they come, thousands of stuffed animals over the boards going to children in need this holiday season, and Utica has tied the game at 1. With a big goal out of the way, Pioneers now playing to win. They get the next one. That's Brian Scoville from the point, an absolute missile. Utica takes its first lead of the game, 2-1. In the second, it's 3-1 now, and check that out. Drake Morse, big-time shot, going top shelf off the face-off. That made it 4-1 at the time. He would go on to end up having a hat trick in the game. Pioneers go on to win this one by a final score of 7-2, and you see a big-time penalty shot goal there, too. That made it 5-1. Great night at the auditorium.
It's been a process with our young group all year, and I think we took another step today. I mean, I really thought we played pretty well, you know, after they scored first minute, which isn't ideal, obviously. But we've had a good minute up until they just got a bounce and never went. But we didn't panic, we stayed with it, got out of the period 3-1, and just got rolled from there. I really liked our game tonight. That was pretty complete. You hear 4,000 people groan when they get the first goal, and you know, we're so young. I think the response from our group was really, really good. You know, so I'm proud of the guys, the way they just said, hey, that's fine. We'll go out and get the next one. And it wasn't long before that was tied, and then we get the win, and off we go. The city responds. It's a great tradition for the entire city, and to see that crowd tonight and those Bears go out, kids will be smiling this Christmas. It's awesome.
So everyone goes home happy as the Pioneers win their 8th straight Teddy Bear Toss contest and provide holiday cheer to kids all across our area. Utica wraps up the unofficial first half of the season next Saturday on the road against Oswego State before going on break for a couple of weeks and returning home after the new year.
And the women's hockey team also hitting the ice tonight. Pioneers hosting Newman University at the Nexus Center early in the first period. Utica on the attack. Casey Ryder going to get the stick up, deflects it right past the goalie, makes it 1-0 for the Pioneers 5.5 minutes in. Minute and a half later, Utica with the puck at the blue line. Slap shot, no. One-timer, though, does hit home. Rachel DeLong gets the second chance score in the net. Utica goes up 2-0 early, and they're not done just yet. Maggie Rylett walks it in and fires a wrister upper deck for a goal. Pioneers with an offensive surge. 8 minutes in, it's now a 3-0 game. To the third we go. Rachel DeLong, she's going to get it done again for Utica. Deflection goal, back of the net. Pioneers dominant on offense. 8-0 lead with 12 to go in the third. Utica ends up winning this one 10-0 after the final horn. They remain undefeated on the year. They have a rematch with Newman tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
So a great night for Utica hockey, both the men's and women's teams with big wins. Over at the Kennedy Arena in Rome, we had a doubleheader of high school hockey action.